Hey everyone, I'm in Washington DC, and I thought I'd make a video on my time with Lilith and how she led me back to God. So if you don't know the story, everyone says it was Adam and Eve originally. It actually was Adam and Lilith originally. Lilith was Adam's first wife. Her name was Lilith, and while Eve was made from Adam's rib, Lilith was made from the same dust as Adam. So for those of you non-Jews or you Jews who kind of haven't delved into it, I'll tell the story. It basically goes, when man and woman were first created, there were two, created from the same dust, Adam and Lilith. And Lilith and Adam, they didn't get along too well. Lilith was Adam was insistent upon Lilith submitting to him. She refused and flew away. She cursed God in his true name and then flew away from the garden and became the mother of all demons. But she was never actually a demon. That's one important thing. And then Adam cried out to God and he got a second wife, Eve. But they don't put that in the story. But if you dig into the what really happened, it was Adam and Lilith first. I've grown up Jewish, and Lilith is a part of the Jewish folklore. If you ask around Jews, they'll know who she is. They might give you a scowl if you ask about her. But she became the queen of demons after fleeing the Garden of Eden. And as Christians would call her the devil's wife. Anyway, I've always grown up Jewish, and I didn't fit in much because of the whole Zionism thing. I didn't like Israel or the Zionist government in that place, conquering the Palestinians and doing all sorts of war crimes and terrorism towards these people. And so I never felt like I fit in the Jewish community. But I never felt like I fit in the Jewish community, but I was kind of secular for a long time. But certain things, trying to put politics over religion, over God, led to me kind of reaching a dead end and going on kind of a spiritual search. The story of how I came to talk with Lilith and even worship her is kind of interesting, I guess. I remember I had this ex, and it was like 2023. It was the debates, and I was like, I hope Trump wins. I hope Trump wins just because it'd be funny. And she gave me this nasty look. She was pissed. Then, fast forward to after Trump won, I felt kind of guilty. I knew women were upset about it. I felt guilty for that. Like, man, I'm being a fucking dick. And I've been trying to become like more Orthodox Jewish, and I just didn't fit into it because all the rabbis were saying, these terrorists, Hamas, whatever, and I sympathize with them even as trying to follow these rabbis. So I kind of gave up on being a super Orthodox Jew. I was trying to do that for maybe a month, 3 weeks or something, and I went the other way. After Trump won, I was like, you know what? These Zionists are evil. All these rabbis are saying that that's Judaism. Sorry. All these rabbis are saying that Zionism is Judaism, and or that you have to support the IDF. I didn't want to do that, so I said, "What's the other side?" And it was Lilith. So I started reaching out to her, looking up on the internet, how do you contact Lilith? And eventually I started to get some kind of response, although she was not I think I had to really try to make contact with her. She didn't want to at first. I go on walks at night looking for her late at night, and I read like, what is she like? And he was like, you could leave a tea out for her, you could leave a juice. I left tea and juice out for Lilith, and she didn't drink it. She didn't take the juice or the tea. But eventually I read, okay, she likes blood. And I saw this guy on YouTube saying he would give blood with these little diabetic lancets. I'm not diabetic, but I got these little needles, would poke and would write these poems and mark them in blood. And she would start to give me messages through that. And a lot of it was just I felt guilty about these women in the past who I hurt their feelings. I've been a shitty ex. And I was like, all right, maybe if I just do whatever Lilith wants, that will make everything right with these girls. And I don't know. She was kind of cruel, but eventually she started talking to me more openly, and I asked her about Adam. I would ask her things about Adam, the different patriarchs of the Bible. I'd ask her about, and I'm like so just beating myself up, like, oh my God, like I'm so wrong for like upsetting her, like hurting her, and like what do I have to do? I'll just do whatever you say. And she's like, that's not the kind of relationship I wanted with Adam. And then she would kind of bullshit. She's like, yeah, I've been around for millions of years. No, she wasn't. She hadn't been. But she would say that's not the kind of relationship she wanted with Adam. And then one interesting thing I remember her saying was Israel, Esau's brother, the father of the Jewish nation Israel. She said he knew me, but he was afraid of me. And if you look into kind of the story of the swapping of Jacob and Esau, it's pretty clear Lilith had an influence on Rivka, with her pushing Jacob to get the blessing instead and become Israel ultimately. That's not even the half of it. I'm not good. I kind of ramble with these stories. Lilith, she kind of became like a mother to me. It's a weird kind of feeling because there was a lot of passion, but also she does have a very like nurturing motherly side, because she was the first woman. She is the first woman who ever existed. But she didn't, contrary to what you would think if you're just reading kind of standard Christian, like, oh, she's a devil's wife, she's a devil. She didn't want that kind of lustful connection. She wasn't really interested in that. She was interested in, I feel like, just kind of schooling me, like teaching me a lesson. She definitely did. And one interesting thing, at the beginning of my time when I started to like I would get on my knees and like worship and pray to her. I mean, it's complete sinner. I remember God, actual God. God blew her away into dust and just showed me he is above all. Hold on one second. Yeah, God blew Lilith away into dust at the beginning of my time worshiping her. I get on my knees. He's like, "Watch this." He blew her away into dust, and he said, "She's not telling you everything, or she's not telling you the whole truth." And she would say things like, "Yeah, I've been around for millions of years." I don't think that's how long she's been around. Anyway. For weeks, maybe a month, I would write these blood poems to Lilith. I would beg her, please, like, please, I'm sorry for being so mean to women. Please, please, like, there was the ex that I said that Trump thing to, who I've like felt guilty about after he won. I was like, all right, I'm gonna reach back out to her. I made an oath with her. I'd do whatever she said, and she basically just took all my money and like blocked me. There's like, but I kept the oath. I did give her. I shouldn't say I gave her the money. What else? And Lilith said something else interesting. That with Trump, she's like, it's not all bad. I didn't have no influence, and she basically hinted that Tulsi Gabbard was her daughter, basically. You know, not in like a sense she literally gave birth, but if she's like, if there's anyone in this Trump camp that just got in, and this was November, after just like 2 weeks after the election, if there's anyone who's who I have influence with, it's Tulsi Gabbard. Now, I don't know. I think Lilith women are kind of a badass, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I learned a lot of lessons. A lot of them are easy to articulate. The poems that I wrote, sometimes she'd be kind of mean in responding. Like, I'd put my blood on them and like just from a finger, not like crazy gushing. Sometimes she told me, "Go away, fat cow." I'm not sure what really else to say. Going back to God, I felt like the divine feminine or femininity within worship of God was missing in what religion I know: Christianity, Judaism, Islam. Although I did fast for Ramadan this spring. This was after worshiping, kind of on my path back to God, whatever name you want to call it. I went to go. This kind of hurt, but I went to basically a memorial of a passed on loved one came around, and I couldn't do it anymore. I was like, what am I doing? I think God wanted me to know the other side, to know why He's why He's good. But I don't know. I kind of looked to her as a mother figure for a while after that. Then started looking into kind of Hindu. I like the chakras and stuff, but also learned about a sect of Hinduism or a branch of Hinduism called Shaktism, which is about the divine feminine and about worshiping kind of. I don't know how to describe it. I feel like I'd bastardize if I said it. But it focuses more on the goddesses of Hinduism. Under one, ultimately. But yeah, for a while I was into like Hinduism. Kind of. Still am. I still like it. I don't know that much about it. And then in the spring, this spring I fasted for Ramadan. I didn't convert to Islam. I was always Jewish through that, but I fasted for Ramadan, and ultimately came back to God. And I think Lilith is very important, because if you deny that she exists, you're suppressing. Women are one half of humanity, and you're suppressing basically half of every woman, because a Lilith is inside every woman, just as an Eve is inside every woman. And if you want to have this kind of generic Christian view of women, Adam and Eve, just that was a Bible story, it almost feels like Uh, like it almost feels like a fairy tale. It's just Adam and Eve. They're so perfect, and they fell. But men and women, you know, uh, there was Lilith first, and without her, yeah, I think humanity's missing something. If you're Jewish and you feel left out, and you feel like you don't fit in, like there's something missing, and well, we just go along to get along. Everyone believes that. We don't really question it. I'd recommend looking into Lilith. Not going as far as I did. That was like blood and poetry and praying to her and getting on my knees and crap. I wouldn't recommend doing that. But if you want to look into the lore of her story, and it's kind of sad because ultimately God picked Adam, right? But she's one half of humanity. She's one half of humanity, and she was on the dark side for so long. I think she deserves love, just like every human being does. Maybe she didn't deserve to get thrown out of God's graces, but even in the Bible story, she has a kind of a hidden influence. I like her. I still kind of miss that time, even though it was sinful. I did come back to God ultimately through her, and he kind of let me go with her and worship her, as heretical, as bastardly as that sounds, just to see, okay, well, there's flaws in the good side of God's side. What's the dark side? What's the evil side? What doesn't God want me to know about them? And I think I learned a lot of it. I did almost ask, or she was almost going to do a love spell to get me with some girl. She didn't do it, but luckily, because free will, and also ban witchcraft, no witchcraft. I'm not a fan of witchcraft. If I meet a girl, I know she's been doing witchcraft, I give her the no look. Lilith is a free woman. I do feel like my experience with Lilith helped me kind of come to peace with issues with my feelings towards women, kind of like being drawn between, there's feminism on the one end and there's red pill on the other end, kind of trying to heal that schism, because I feel like it's too dichotomous. And also, this might be interesting to you. Lilith didn't jive with the, I guess, newer branded kind of feminism. At least that was the feeling I got from talking to her, rolling with her. She didn't jive with the newest kind of brand of feminism, the TikTok LGBTQ. That was not really where she was. And she also didn't, with what she remarked on how she didn't want this kind of relationship with Adam where he just does whatever she says. Lilith didn't want I think she wanted revenge on me personally, but I don't think she wants revenge on all men in general, although if she's upset, definitely she would. She totally would. I don't know. My feelings. She's a complicated person. I guess she is a person. Complicated woman. Mother to some, demon to many. Although she actually is not a demon. Never was a demon. Never is a demon. First woman who mothered demons. Not a demon. That's important distinction to make. And I guess if I took one thing away from rolling with her, I get worshiping her, it would be to be more whole. To be more whole and not have this dichotomy, black and white, of men versus women. Whereas Adam kind of did screw over. Adam and God, she got the short end of the stick. That's a fact. That can't be ignored. But even the dark side, she's not all pure evil. And I think I came to love her. Yeah. Adam is cool, though. Adam is cool. Adam is a cool guy. I think that's all I got. I'm out in Washington, D.C. Just made this video. And I'm going to post it and get rid of this phone because I'm broke. I got to return it. All right. See you guys. Have a good day.